Hi, I'm Dominic Waddles.
And I'm Mark Rosenblatt.
And this is the MDetroit podcast.
MDetroit is a podcast where we interview artists of Detroit. We discuss their art, lives, and many other topics. In doing this, we hope to create a platform for artists to share their work.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on this podcast, we have the wonderful, thumping Jonathon Muir-Cotton. We talk about mentorship from great jazz bass players such as Marion Hayden, Hurst, and Rodney Whitaker, and playing with great musicians such as Esperanza, Spalding, Kareem, Riggins, and Ali Jackson. Plus, learning the instrument and getting the sound you want, and thoughts on the Detroit scene, and so much more.
So without further delay, please enjoy Jonathon Muir-Cotton.
Yeah, welcome to the MDetroit podcast. You know you're going to be in season 3. We are with the one and only Jonathon S Muir-Cotton.
Yeah.
Who plays the acoustic bass and the electric bass. Why don't you say hi to the folks?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Thank you for being on the show. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for agreeing.
Of course.
Got to get through that bridge.
What?
Of agreeance.
Oh yeah. No, we've had a share of people who either don't reply or whatever.
But that's life.
Yeah, that's just like how it is. Like,
yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's okay though.
It's like with with anything. Some people they have stuff they're doing. And it's cool. We'll get him on anyways. We will.
So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna read you your bio, and then we're gonna ask you, what would you change?
Which bio is this from?
This is right off your website.
Oh man, okay.
So here we go. Jonathon S Muir-Cotton is a multi-award-winning young up-and-coming double bassist and bassist trained in both jazz and classical traditions, playing many genres including jazz, funk, gospel, blues, R&B, and neo-soul. Under the mentorship and tutelage of great Detroit bassists like Marion Hayden, Robert Hurst, Rick Robinson, Rodney Whitaker, and Ralph Armstrong, Jonathon is working towards making his own mark in the music world. Jonathon has continued to garner great opportunities to perform in Detroit, the great metropolitan area, the Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area, and as well as many other venues across the country. Jonathon is a student at Michigan State University pursuing his bachelor's in jazz studies. Muir-Cotton has performed with various renowned artists both locally and nationally, including Kareem, Riggins, Chris Johnson, Dwight Adams, Curtis Taylor, Kiana Lionel, Vincent Chandler, Ali Jackson, Benny Rubin, Esperanza Spalding, Ian Finkelstein, and Kamal Kenyatta. He has his own talented and versatile extended band, Expressions, and is an often sought out bassist for other artists, their bands, and studio work. Jonathon continues to hone his craft, hope to tour the world, and eventually become a music educator, teaching jazz at the collegiate level, as well as being inspired and being an inspiration and giving back to the next generation of students and aspiring musicians. So what you gonna change about it?
I wouldn't.
Or would you add anything?
Right.
I wouldn't change anything. I think it's pretty good. It says pretty much most of what I would want to say about myself, actually. So I really like that. I was kind of nervous because like some bios that aren't on my website are just stuff that I'll put together for like gigs, and it won't have as much information as I want in the bio. So I was a little nervous, but I really like that though. So
cool.
Well, you made it easy. It was right off your It was right off your website. But let's get into being mentored by Marion Hayden, Rodney Whitaker, and Rob Hurst. What were those experiences like?
Well, I first met Marion Miss Hayden when I was in middle school, and at the time I didn't really realize like how blessed I was to have her as a teacher and a mentor, because she's like a Detroit legend. She's played with like everyone, you know, Marcus Belgrave, just all the like OGs of Detroit.
Right.
And there's so much like just bass lineage in Detroit, and a lot of people don't know that we have some of the best like bass players in the world within like literally 100-mile radius. Like Marion Hayden lives in Detroit. Rodney Whitaker lives in East Lansing, and Bob Hurst lives in Ann Arbor, and then Ralph lives in Detroit. So it's like those are like four of the like best bass players to ever play the instrument within like literally like 100 miles. So studying with Miss Hayden, I took lessons with her through middle school, going into high school, and I still take some lessons here and there with her. But it was a really like a privilege to learn from her. I learned so much like when I first started, because she's the first teacher I studied with when I started playing jazz. Same as Bob Hurst. He like showed me a lot of stuff and just helped me grow as a musician. But Rodney Whitaker is like the main guy. Like I started studying with him when I was a junior in high school, I think. And like he's like he like showed me, he's the reason why I like heard a sound, like understanding what the bass should sound like. Like he has this record that he played on with Ray Hargrove called Of Kindred Souls, and I remember listening to that record in high school and just like hearing how he like solos and walks the bass, and I like something clicked, and I finally like understood like when you're like walking and just playing, like how you should make like other people feel. And like since then, like he's been like my main guy and like one of my biggest like mentors that I study with him now. And he's like he's not the reason why I play, but he's like one of the main reasons why I play, just because he gives me so much wisdom on the instrument and off the instrument, that is stuff that I like carry with every single day. Like there's stuff that he told me when I was in high school that like I'm just now like learning,
right,
and that I'm like learning as I go on, and he's the best. So.
What are some of those things that he told you?
All right.
I mean, it's just
care to share the secret sauce.
So when I first started playing, like he's one of those guys, like he saw a lot in myself before I saw it in myself. So when I first started studying with him, I took bass serious, but I didn't take bass serious at the same time. Like there's a difference between like practicing and practicing. So I would practice like my skills and stuff and like learning songs. But when I started studying with him, like the first tune he had me learn was Yardbird Suite. And I just was like playing the melody, and then like hearing him play the melody and just walk the chorus and like feel and hear what it sounds like. He always tells me to just like always play as if no one is around, and just really become one with your instrument. And it's like I didn't really understand what that meant when I first started studying with him, because as like a young kid I was just playing, and then like probably especially with COVID I've really became like really one and like become part of my instrument, and like I've really like I would say I've really like found what it means to like be really intimate with my instrument every single time that I play. And it's like other stuff like technique stuff, like there's a hand exercise that I still have to learn that I never learned, and like he was just like, this hand exercise is gonna come up whether you learn it or not. And now like being older, and I still haven't shared the hand exercise. Like it's something that I need to shed, because it literally comes up in like your technique. And they're just like sayings. Like I'm a type of person that likes to like schedule myself and do a lot of stuff. And he has this saying that he says, he's like, sometimes as musicians we feel worthless if our calendar's not full. And that like really struck me, because that's something that I feel, especially now with COVID. It's like when things are shut down, it's like there's not much going on. So there's more stuff that he's told me that's just that I still keep with me to this day. So.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about you've worked with these mentors, but you also worked and played with some really top tier musicians like Ollie Jackson, Esperanza, Spalding, and Kareem Riggins. Can you talk a little bit about those experiences as well?
With Mr. Ollie Jackson, I was in this group called The Gathering, which was a big band that was started by Oliver Ragsdale and under the direction of Rodney Whitaker, and it was in memory of Jerry Allen. And Ollie would pop into like rehearsals, like he randomly popped into a rehearsal the first year, because the program is a 2-year residency. You're in the group for 2 years.
Right.
So the first year he just popped in the rehearsal and like played the tambourine for like 5 seconds to the song we were playing, and then just left. So like we didn't really get a chance to interact with him. And then the second year, we were rehearsing, and he just came in and like stayed and played and just listened. And like everybody's just playing and we're swinging or whatever. And like the song's over, and he's talking to Rodney, and he's like, "That bass player is serious." So I was like, okay, like I'm doing something. So he played in the rehearsal, and we were tipping, and then like Rodney was just like, "Yo, like what are you doing Saturday?" I think our concert was Saturday. "What are you doing Saturday?" And he was like, "Nothing, I'm here." And he was like, "You want to play on the show?" And she was like, "Sure." So he played on the show. It was really cool. He didn't like really say much to me, but he was just like, "Man, you sound really good." And then I want to say I got his like number and stuff like that, so I reached out and connected with him. And then he actually moved back to Detroit recently, and I've been just like going over his house, and like we'll play and have sessions and stuff like that, and he'll give me feedback. And it's really cool because my mom used to take me to see Jazz and Lincoln Center when I was in elementary school and younger. Mm-hmm. And actually, one of the reasons why I played the bass is because Carlos Enriquez, who is a bass player for Jazz and Lincoln Center, he took a bass solo, and I was like, "Man, I want to play bass." So like, and Ollie was playing drums. So it's just like really cool to like play with people that like, and like are one of the reasons why you're playing bass. So it's been really cool. He's like super honest, which I really appreciate. Always tell me stuff I need to work on. And like also like something that's more like really important to me that I get older is like not only having a musical relationship, but a personal relationship. So it's like I can go to his house and we can have a conversation for a couple hours, talk about music, talk about like current events that's going on in the United States or world, talk about sports. Like we've worked out together. So it's like a real like genuine relationship that I'm like really thankful to have. So that's cool.
Oh man, I imagine working out with.
Bro, it's funny because his son plays soccer, so he's old. Like Ali's like in his 40s, but he's in shape. Like he's in really good shape. So, what were the other two?
Esperanza Spalding and Kareem Riggins.
Oh yeah. So with Kareem Riggins, obviously like I've been like a huge fan of his. Like he's on all the like really like just popular records, jazz and like R&B, all other stuff. Mm-hmm. But I had always been a fan of his because he plays a lot with Bob Hurst, and that Bob and Kareem was like one of my favorite hookups, drum and bass wise. So I think in 2018, going into 18, like Chris Collins had put together this Detroit Jazz Festival, I think like alumni group, and we got an opportunity to play with him on the festival, and it was a really cool project because we got to do like originals, and then he gave us the leeway to like do some Jay Dilla stuff. So it was like a cool opportunity to like showcase us as like individuals, young and up and coming, and then also like get the mentorship of the stuff that he knows, which he knows everything.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, just to get that guidance. And it was really cool because like he had like Elzai on the show from Slum Village, and that was really cool.
Wow.
Like it was like really cool. Like in the moment I didn't really know like he was on the show. So like looking back on it, Monica Blair, who I love Monica Blair. Like Monica Blair is so dope. She's like a really dope just person and musician. So we did that project, and then that's just been kind of like like an ongoing relationship that I try to keep going. He's like a really dope human being and dope musician, and like anytime he's in the city, like when we get together, he's like really cool. And then with Esperanza Spalding, we met in 2018 as well, and we did this master class at the Car Center with the Detroit Jazz Festival group that was going to be at the Jazz Festival, and her and Terry Lynn Carrington were doing a master class, and we were the first one up. And it's like a funny story about this, but we were the first group up, and I was like, for some reason, like really nervous to play. I mean, obviously nervous to play in front of Terry Lynn Carrington, Esperanza Spalding, and the whole program was running late. So like in most configurations, it's like piano, bass, drums. But whoever had set up the stage set it up like piano, guitar, drum, bass. So the bass is supposed to be in the middle, but whoever set up the stage set it up wrong, and we were running late. And for some reason, I was like really nervous. So I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna play in this configuration. The room was really boomy, so like you could hear the drums playing, but you couldn't hear anything the piano player was playing.
Damn.
And we were late, so I was like, it's whatever, like I'm just gonna play. So like we play the first tune, and like Terry Lynn Carrington's like, why are you all the way over there? And I was like, oh, that's just the way it was set up, like we're running late, so I just set up over here. And she's like, no, that's like wrong. So I was like, okay. So I set it up there. Like the whole time, like Esperanza Spalding's like a super nice person, so she's like, oh man, you sound good. So we finished the show, and like I'm just like sitting down with my friends or whatever, and she actually comes up to me and she's like, yo, do you have like a business card? I was like, yeah, sure. Turns out this is my last business card in my wallet.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, it's that. So pulled out the business card. She's like, yeah, like write your number down. We're doing 2 days at the Dirty Dog, and I like you to like play with us. So I was like trying to stay calm. I'm like, cool, write my number down on the card. And I actually got a chance to play with her. Her and Taylor Carrington at the Dirty Dog, which is like a surreal experience just to like play with one of your heroes. But the cool part about it is like I got a chance to really hang out with her, Esperanza Spalding, for like 2 nights. And like after those 2 days, she was like a super dope person, and I felt like I had known her for way longer than 2 nights, which was like really odd to like connect with someone who's like that level, you know. And then later on that summer, the year when I played with Kareem at the festival, she actually like came and checked out our show, which was like really cool to like.
That's dope.
Yeah. So yeah, she's an amazing person as well. Obviously, a really amazing musician too. So
What was that band at the Dirty Dog? Because it's like 2 basses.
no. So what we did for that, they did like 8 songs, I think. So Ian Finkelstein was on piano because that was the year Jerry Allen, I think it was either the summer after,
2016.
that Jerry Allen died. So Ian Finkelstein studied under Jerry Allen at U of M. So it was Ian Finkelstein and Terry Lynn and Esperanza, and they did 8 songs. So the songs that I played on was the songs that she was singing. So we did like tunes like Unconditional Love, Feed the Fire.
Yeah.
I forget the other tunes we did. So it was really cool. Like the soundtrack, when I did the soundtrack, I was like psyched out. So it was really cool. But yeah, so it was just 1 bass, and the tunes that I played, she just sang the lyrics too.
Nice.
What was it like playing Unconditional Love live?
With her, it was really cool playing with them because I played it with like my peers, but to play it with like the source, like Terry, Miss Carrington, and like Esperanza, and hear it like sing, I won't even joke. Like the first night, it was like so many emotions running through my head that I was like, you just need to like focus on the music and like tune out any other feelings that you have, because like just to like hear how it's supposed to be played, because they've played it so many times that it just like it was really cool, like something that I'll never forget for sure.
Yeah. Have you guys seen? Did you guys watch Soul?
I haven't yet.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
I'm just like thinking of that. Okay, you guys didn't see it. There's just a scene where he like gets the gig. Or whatever. He plays with his hero, and then he like goes into like the zone,
No, I gotta
and
check
like they
it out.
animate it, and I'm just like, that's the first thing that popped in my head. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I need to watch that movie. It's been on my list.
I'm just trying to remember what is it. It's like how it starts. Ooh, ooh.
What? Unconditional
Yeah,
Love?
ooh.
It starts
Ooh, Oh, I'm thinking of Rest and Pleasure.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But okay. That shit. I wish I would have went to the Dirty Dog that night.
It was cool.
That was in 2018.
But
Yeah,
it was
summer
sold out.
2018.
It's always sold out
Yeah,
each year.
that joint was sold out. It was a great show, man. It was really cool.
So how do you create your big sound on the bass? Like me and Mark were talking earlier that you just sound like Rodney Whitaker. You sound like Christian McBride. It's just a thump. It's just like
A lot of
That's
it is
exactly
a
what
lot
I
of it is technique and something that I'm still working with Professor Whitaker on. Like when you're holding the string down, it's all on your left hand. So if you play on the tip top of your fingers instead of the balls on the balls of your hands, your sound is going to be more pointed. And then with upright, it's just like finding the sweet spot in every bass. So like obviously I've been playing my bass for a while, so I know like where all the sweet spots are. And it's like also your equipment. I like my strings. I used to play Eva Perazzi's, and now I have spiral chords. And spiral chords are naturally just a bright sound because I just like that sound, and it's the sound that I've like tried to like mirror for so long. But it's just really like about where you attack the bass. It's not about even playing hard. It's just about like really your technique and being able to like find good spots in the instrument. Every instrument has like sweet spots. You know?
Would you say, because I know for guitar, like depending on where you pick the string, like if it's closer to the end, it's going to be brighter.
Yeah.
And then closer neck, it's going to be warmer. Would you say that also affects your tone, or is there like a specific spot with your technique?
Yeah, I mean with upright, like with the fingerboard, if you want like a larger sound, then you want to play closer to the end of the fingerboard. And then if you want like more required attack, or I'd say like more of a softer attack, then you'll play like higher up on the fingerboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it also is like the force and stuff like that you pull the string, and then also what you play. Because like if you play gut strings, you have a big sound, but gut strings are a very warm sound, so it's not going to be as like aggressive, I should say, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But
Okay. Cool. So in your bio, it also mentions your band Expressions.
Yeah. So the summer of 2016, like my mom has been like super instrumental in like making sure that I have like my own group as a band leader, because I'm not like super comfortable being a band leader. That's not like, it's something that I want to do. But I had just started a group. It was like me, Lewis, and Evan Mercer and Jeffrey, and we did some stuff at Bert's like every other Sunday. But now here and there I still have like my own like gigs that I do as like for like background stuff, but it's been a while. But I definitely want to like I've been writing a lot of music during this quarantine COVID period. So probably in the next like year or a couple months, I'm gonna like record a lot of the music that I've been just writing bass lines and grooves and stuff like that I'm just gonna like put out and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of that group.
Are you thinking about recording it in separate places or in a studio?
I don't really know. The cool, like the hard part with the whole COVID thing is you can only have like a certain amount of people in one room. And like if when I record, I want to have like everybody in one room. I don't really want to do like the whole isolation thing. So like part of me kind of wants to do it at someone's house and just record and see what happens. But then the other thing is like I do want to do the studio experience. So I'm not really sure yet.
I got you.
There is we just found out about a new studio from our previous podcast guest.
Really?
Yeah, in Hamtramck.
What is it called?
Do you guys remember what it's called? I'll tell you. We'll find out.
Yeah, he wrote it down on a list.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's recording during COVID right now. But that might be like a dope place to record because apparently this dude has like, it's in Hamtramck and it's like the most beautiful. Apparently it's to the people that we just interviewed, they're like, it's the most beautiful studio. It has like a bunch of stuff. It's not just like a studio. It's like also got places to like hang out, like draw inspiration from like being inside of a room or something like that. and also just like a nice environment for, recording.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of people go to like the regular studio, and you're just like, okay, it's cool to be in the studio, but also it kind of gets like have to do good.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah, I'd love to know about that place for sure.
So on a humorous note, let's talk about this McBride bass battle.
Oh man,
This is the legendary story.
I completely forgot about this. So I was in high school, and I was in this group led by the Sean Dobbins, and we performed at Schoolcraft College, and it was when Chris McBride was the arson resident at Michigan State, and all day, I think there were events going on like all day, and we had got a chance to like play for our rehearsal and like sound check before the show, and like he listened to us and like gave us feedback, and then like we got a chance to go out to dinner with like University of Michigan State and Professor Whitaker and Chris McBride, and it was just cool to like hang around like the college students that were there at the time. Like at the time it was like India Owens, who's like a beast now, doing everything at Michigan State, and some other like really cool cats. And we played the Jody Grind by, I think John Clayton wrote that. Mm-hmm. And like I forgot what happened, but he just like picked up his bass, and I was like, oh, like I was like looking at the music, I was like, oh, there's like a solo break coming up. And there's like two bass players, so it was cool. Like it was a really cool moment. The crazy part, I wasn't very like nervous. Like I was nervous, obviously, because like he's like one of my heroes, but it wasn't like a bad nervous, and I just tried my best to like.
So like what happened? Because I think that we know, but
dude,
the audience
obviously he absolutely destroyed me. Like,
so it's literally like a battle.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't. It was very one-sided. It was very one-sided, but I had a couple licks in there that I was very proud of, and then there was just like, I think I had like one cool lick that I played, and I was feeling really good about myself, and then he just like went in beast mode, and I was like, okay, well, that's cool.
I tried my best.
Yeah, it's cool. And like he's super cordial, like, like whenever he hasn't come to Detroit in a while, but whenever he comes to Detroit, like I still like try to connect with him, and he's really cool. But it was very one-sided. It wasn't even close. Man, it was not even close.
So this is a kind of based upon all the information that we've gathered thus far in the podcast. If I were to make a Jonathon S Muir-Cotton musical gumbo, what would I put it in? And this can be technique, this can be artists, and what makes your wonderful gumbo?
Ooh, that's a good question. So your question is like, if you were to create a person, like if you were to create another person and then name them Jonathon, what traits would you want them to have?
What traits would you want them to have?
Oh, what traits would you want them to have?
Yes. So if I were to make a gumbo, and this would be like, okay, when you taste this, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is Jonathon.
Yeah, okay. Dude, that's difficult, but I'd say someone with like obviously great technique, good musicianship on and off the bandstand. Someone who loves all music, no matter what genre. A fun guy. Into sports. Very compassionate, respectful.
What artists would be in his...
Oh, what artists? Okay, so probably like D'Angelo, Butcher Brown, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, Ledisi, Chrisette Michelle, NDRE, Fred Hammond, John B. Key, probably the Clark sisters, Stravinsky, who I was a big fan of in high school, Rodney Whitaker, Bob Hurst, Christian McBride, Ralph Armstrong, Dwight Adams, Vincent Chandler for sure. Just, Miles, and then obviously like the jazz greats like Miles, Bird, Ray Brown, stuff like that. Just all styles of music. Like my mom really exposed me to a lot of music, so just all styles of music.
So you hear that, everybody? Put that all together, and you'll have John S Muir-Cotton.
What
does S?
Oh, sorry.
My bad.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, what does S stand for?
Oh, Samuel.
Samuel.
So Jonathon Samuel Muir-Cotton. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Full government name, y'all.
JSMC.
Yeah.
When did you? that actually sounds pretty dope.
JSMC
Yeah.
coming on the bass double.
New band name.
Maybe.
When did you first play the bass? And you already answered this question. When did you start taking it seriously?
I first started playing the bass in 5th grade. So I went to school in Ann Arbor. In my elementary school, I went to 3 elementary schools. I went to Angel Elementary School, so I went kindergarten through 1st grade. I went to Ann Arbor Open 1st grade through 5th grade, and then I left Ann Arbor Open mid-year to go to Angel Elementary School. So in school, you pick out an instrument in 5th grade. So like my 3rd pick was like trumpet. My 2nd pick was trombone. My 1st pick was bass. But so many cats were like quitting the instrument that like the school only wanted to hire a teacher unless they knew you were gonna do it, because they would just lose money. So when I went to Ann Arbor Open, the teacher was like, if you play cello for the first half of the year and decide you want to switch to bass, then you can switch to bass, because so many people were playing cello that it made sense. And I was like, okay. So I played cello for half a year. My mom got me private lessons for that. And then when I switched to Allen Elementary School, there wasn't like it wasn't like an orchestra, but we had a music program, and the teacher's name was Ms. Mobley, and I asked her, I said, can I switch to bass? And she said, if you're like serious about it, you can play bass. So like later that night, my mom took me to like Shar Music in Ann Arbor, and I got like my first bass. And then when did I take bass serious? Like serious? I took it serious, but I didn't take it serious until high school.
When did you start doing like the jazz bass stuff?
I started that in like middle school, so around like eighth grade.
That's crazy.
When I started, yeah. Like we the cool part about like Detroit obviously is like there's so many like there's still a lot of stuff going on, but when I first started there was a program called DSO Civic Youth Jazz Orchestra. Yep. And it was like, before I did it, the directors were Marcus Belgrave, Rodney Whitaker, and then when I got into it, it was Sean Dobbins. And I went there in 8th grade and like tried out. I was super nervous because I couldn't like improvise, and like Sean Dobbins was like very I'd say pushy in a good way. So like he would pair you with like I couldn't like improvise, and he'd put me in like groups with like Stephen Grady, Nolan Young, and I like couldn't improvise at all. So like my first like ensemble experience, my director was Kurt Kroenke.
Wow.
So I was like, dang, this is like crazy. So like I did Civic Jazz Orchestra in 8th grade, and then I did all through high school. But Civic Youth Orchestra was crazy because like the big band was like stacked. Like I was in 8th grade, and like the rhythm section was like Ian Finkelstein, Adam O, Kayvon Gordon, and then the horn players were like Nolan Young, Alex Callista, Kassan Belgrave. I forget who was playing Barry, but just the level of like musicians as like a person who just started was like super intimidating, but it was really dope because the faculty was amazing, because it was like Kurt Kroenke, Racy Biggs, Sean Dobbins, and like there would always be like a guest artist, and it was really cool, really good experience.
Nice.
So what about the SF Jazz Collective gig? or playing at SF Jazz?
Oh yeah, no, it was really cool. It's actually something off my bucket list. I played there with Kiana Linnell, who's like a really, really amazing vocalist, amazing person as well. But that was actually in November of 2019, and it was really cool. Like SF Jazz is on my list of places I always wanted to play, and I didn't really know it was gonna happen like right away. But it was really cool. We played in the Joe Henderson lab, and the other room, which is like the main room, I slipped in to watch a concert. I don't remember who was playing, but the acoustics in there are like, it's beautiful, dude. Like I was like listening. I still have a video on my phone that I still watch, like not every day, but close to every day, and it's just like it was really beautiful. But playing at SF Jazz was really nice. Like people in San Francisco were really nice, and everything. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
Did you get to meet any of them, or like Miguel and?
Not really. No, it was I think the second stop, we just did like a mini run. So I think the day before that we were in San Jose, so we drove from San Jose to San Francisco, which is like 20 minutes. And then when we got there, I just like took a nap, and then we went there, and then we had the sound check. So it wasn't, we were there for like to do the sound check in the show. So I didn't really get a chance to do much or hang out with anybody really.
How did you get that gig?
So she had dropped her like first debut album, I think in 2018, and at the time I had been doing a lot with Ian Finkelstein and his trio, and we had did like a mini run at the Dirty Dog, and then we played like a night at Motor City Wine, and Nate Wynn was playing drums, and she was doing, I think, like a little run, a couple stops on like a mini tour or whatever, and her first stop was in Detroit, and we played at the DSO, and she just hired like local cats, and it was really cool because it was like all cats that I knew when I was younger. So like Daniel Meineke was playing piano, Sasha Kasperko was on guitar, and then Nate Wynn played drums. So like Nate had recommend me for a gig, and I just like tried to learn the music to like my best ability, and played the gig. The gig was really cool, and then like later that summer, she had just like hit me up and asked me if I wanted to. We did like a mini like Midwest run. I think we did like Michigan, Ohio, and I think she went like one other place. I forget which one, where it was. And then yeah, that's kind of how I got it. Every time I just play with her, I just try to like earn my keep, make sure I'm like on my P's and Q's, because it's like really cool. I really love playing with vocalists, and she's like inadvertently helped me discover like my love for playing with vocalists. I just feel like for me, playing with vocalists, it's like a very intimate connection between like bass and vocals, and I actually discovered that playing with her, because there's like this tune we play that has like a bass cadenza, which I like hated at first. I was like super nervous. I forget what it's called, but there's like a moment where I play cadenza, and then there's like a bass and vocal duo that we do together, and at first I didn't really understand how to like approach playing that, and then I think the last night of like the first little tour that I did with her, I finally understood like what that's supposed to feel like, and like how to support a vocalist, which is something that I'm still working on. But like I kind of understood more, where before I was kind of just like playing to play. But she's like really helped me like understand what it means to like play together with a vocalist instead of like just play with a vocalist, if that makes sense. So yeah, she's really cool.
Awesome experience there.
Yeah.
Can you talk, kind of moving away from playing around, can you talk a little bit about like the Detroit music scene, like your thoughts on the
I think that Detroit is one of the best music scenes in the world, not just for jazz, but just in general. Like there's so much, but if specifically for jazz, there's just so many like living, in my opinion, they're living legends, but they're not legends to other people, but they're legends to me. Of course, like you have like the Marion Haydens, the Rodney Whitakers, the Bob Hursts. There's just like, there's a cat named Jaribu who plays bass, and I can't pronounce his last name, but he's a monster, and he's played with like so many people. There's like James Carter, Naima Chamberger, who's like really cool, great musician. Vincent Chandler, who you guys know, like Vincent Chandler is like one of my favorite, like just everything. He showed me so much stuff that like even now that I'm still starting to understand, like in terms of like music theory and music. He's like I met him when I was in high school. I did Impulse, and he's just fantastic. I have so much love for Vincent Chandler. But there's just like so much like music and so much history that like I'm fortunate to like be a part of. I think it's like one of the best, and there's so much there's like generations of, of musicians, and there's like so much mentorship that like help keep the music forward, like being young and being able to like have mentorship from like people like Ralph Armstrong. Like Ralph has been very like welcoming to like young people as myself, as well as like Galen McKinney. There's just so much, it's like so much lineage, and I think it's different than other cities, because like other cities are great, but I don't think like no one like mentors young people like I think Detroit artists do, and that's just my opinion, because just like one thing that I've learned, and I've learned from experience, is just like a lot of people that are your teachers, like eventually, like especially in Detroit, you'll get an opportunity to play with, and it doesn't matter like the age difference. Like when I was in high school, I was in DSO, and Marcus Elliott, saxophone player, was my director. And like at the time, being young, I was like, there's no way like I'll ever play with Marcus Elliott like on a gig or anything. But I've like done gigs, like we just did a studio session together. So it's like everything, like nothing is impossible because of just the mentorship of like young people, older people, and like because you don't get that in a lot of cities. Like sometimes, like in other cities, I feel like sometimes older musicians are a little bit hesitant to like share their knowledge, but here it's the complete opposite. Like
they're like, take it.
Yeah, they're like, take it, because that's really the only way like this music goes on in terms of like jazz and other styles. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So what would be some defining moments for you? Some very prominent, just defining moments in your career so far?
That's a good question. I mean, playing with like some of my heroes, like obviously getting a chance to play with Esperanza Spalding was very like standing out. Like since I've been young, I've always wanted to tour. So like being able to go on the road with people like Curtis Taylor, like I've done some shows with Curtis, like in California and here. Of course, like going on tour with Kiana Linnell is like something that I always, because she kind of gave me like my first like tour gig where like I get an opportunity to like travel. So that was like really cool for me, because it's something that I always wanted to do, and it was like something that I had been working for like a minute. But really it's just like little things for me that are like most standoutish, like getting a chance to study with like Professor Whitaker, like Ralph Armstrong, Bob, like those things are like little, but to me they're like very career defining. Playing with like obviously guys like Kareem, Riggins, Ollie Jackson, like staring stage with like Dee Dee Bridgewater was cool, but there's just like I don't know, there's some stuff, but it's not like the beginning. It's the beginning to me, hopefully.
It is the beginning, bro. Because literally whenever I see you on a game, I'm just like, damn, they got a solid ass ground, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How can an upcoming bass player take themselves to the next level?
Just in my opinion, it's just about being one, off the bandstand, being a great, like, good person, like, always responding in a timely manner. Like, if you have to have a rehearsal, like, always try to be early to the rehearsal. Learn the music for the rehearsal. And then, like, being on the gig, like, just try to be on time to the gig, because it's like the little things. Like, the older I got, the older I'm getting. Like, I'm still young, but I'm starting to, like, understand it's like the little things that I didn't really think of when I was, like, little, because, like, my mom, more younger, because, like, my mom would, like, take me to gigs and stuff like that, and, like, I didn't think, like, the little things were a big deal, but, like, the little things is what helps you, like, attribute to, like, the big grand scheme of things, because, like,
right,
no one's gonna call you if you can't, like, learn the music. No one's gonna call you if you're gonna show up late. Like, no one's gonna call you if you have a bad attitude, because like there's people that I still know that when I was younger that were, like, amazing, but they treated people like crap, and, like, now they're just, like, they still play, but it's not, like, no one wants to be around them, even though they're not, like, rude to people anymore, because they've, like, changed, but it's just right. Like, you know, your reputation is, like, everything, and it's a lot to build your reputation, but it takes one time to, like, ruin everything that you can work for. So, like, the biggest thing is just always, like, show up on time, treat people well, learn music for stuff, and then, like, away from gigs, like, always, like, work on your technique. Like, don't be afraid to, like, learn stuff that's hard or outside of your genre. Like, for so long, like I was telling you guys before we were recording, like, I played classical music when I first started bass, and when I got to high school, I was so ready to quit classical music, and then when I stopped, I didn't really realize how much that helped, like, my technique playing the bass, until I stopped. Like, I think the year after I graduated high school, I did a bass competition in San Francisco, and then after that I stopped playing classical music, and then I tried to pick up just playing, like, simple etudes on the bass, and I had just lost so much just off not shedding classical. So, like, shed all genres, like, both on, if you, like, on your bass and stuff like that, and just try to be, like, as versatile as possible. Like, my goal is to be able to play, like, any music on any, like, on electric bass and upright bass, and just, like, be proficient as possible, because if you're proficient on everything, like, there's nothing that no one can't call you for. So the more things people call you for is the more money you can make, and
the more music you can play,
and the more fun,
you know. So we don't do it for money, but
the money's nice,
you know what I'm saying? The money, you know, if you're making money, you know, that's not too bad. So but
well, it's always the thing. It's just like, you should be doing this because you love music. It's just like, well, yes. Just like a scientist who works on their craft, they would like to get paid, and so they can move through life as well. So it's always
But the biggest thing for me is, like, when you love what you do and you're, like, one with your instrument or whatever you do, the money is just part of it, because like, the way I look at it now, it's like the more I play, playing is not work. Like, if you really think about it, like, I was, like, watching an interview, and I think it was, like, Robert Glasper, and he was like, I basically get paid to rehearse in front of people. So it's like, playing is not really like I'm getting paid to do my hobby. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, it's not really work at the same time. What if you really think about it? So the money just part of it, which is a good part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Securing the bag.
Yeah.
What's your practice routine like?
So I first start off with, like, usually electric. So there's this famous, well, really, really popular guy named Alan Snoop Evans, who Tony, as you guys know, showed, like, put me hip to him, and he has this like, this kind of, I'd say, like, A flat minor, like, kind of blues, not like gospel, like, that you can play. And what I do is I just cut the metronome on to, like, 100, and I just try to get it up to 200 and just warm up my hand, because it really will activate your left hand. And then after that, with electric bass, I'll just keep the metronome on, and I'll just play like single notes with both my middle finger and index finger, and try to get it as fast as possible, just to also work out my hands. And then like I'll just shed to like a record that I'm checking out. So like right now, like I'm just like really digging into like a lot of like John P. Key gospel stuff, because that's stuff that I want to like check out. So he did like over quarantine, he did a live recording at a church, and I just been like learning the lines to that. So it's just like what I'm checking out at the time, and then I'll just shed like stuff that I want to get better at. So like and also just like whatever, like I'll shed like my reading chops, because I want to be like a studio musician as well. So I'll just like look up something and just try to like play it correctly as good as possible. And then with upright, I will just warm up with the bow for the first part, just to like open up the bass, and I'll just play like every open string with the metronome. And then I start with like chromatic scales from the E, so I just play like E chromatic, F chromatic scale, F sharp, G, from so on until I get to the top E on my G string, which is like super tedious, which sucks now. It sucks for my neighbors, because like the school music wasn't open for part of first semester, so like I was like warming up in my apartment, which is like painful for people that aren't music fans.
Yeah.
And then after that, like I have these technical exercises, like handing and stuff like that really activates your left hand, of course. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'll just shed like whatever I have coming up for like gigs, standards that I want to learn, transcriptions. That's pretty much the vibe.
So just kind of a quick question. When you're shedding to like live performances and records, what's that process like?
Well, usually I cheat. So like if I'm looking up something on YouTube, I'll just like, if I have to learn something very difficult, I just adjust the speed of the recording to like 0.75 and then learn it. And then to get it to like playing speed, I'll set it to 2, so it's faster than, well, not 2, but as like fast as I can play it, faster than what's the original. So that way when like I have to play it at speed, or I want to play it at speed, it's easier. So that's how I'd go about it.
For sure. What is something that you will never forget that you use constantly, whether it's a quote or a concept?
I wouldn't say it's a quote or a concept, but something that's super important for me is like my mom was a single parent, and she raised me, and she had a really good support system. Like my aunt has always been there. My pastor and his wife, and like my godmom and goddad, who is no longer with us anymore, and like my papa Sandy and his wife were super instrumental to like my development as a young kid growing up and as an adult. So, you know, there's no quote, but it's just like anytime that I, kind of get tired, I just think about like how hard, especially my mom worked to like raise me and make sure that I had like any opportunity. Like I grew up playing sports, and my mom like worked so hard to make sure that I could just play any sport that I wanted to do. Like I swam, I played soccer, I played baseball, I played football, I played basketball. And like no matter what sport I wanted to do, or any instrument or any lessons I had, like my mom made sure that there was a way. Like in high school, like I would have basketball practice, and my mom would like drive me to Michigan State like once a week for my lesson, and then drive back to Ann Arbor like late at night, and then go to work the next morning. So it's like that's like what drives me like every day, because like a lot of parents don't like do that.
Invest.
You know what I'm saying? My mom like fully invested in like my mom had a great support system with all like the family, our immediate family that's around. So I just try to like really keep that in mind when things are difficult, because like even now being like in my early 20s, like they all support me. So it's just kind of like a driving factor, because Without them, I'd be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You can cut this part out, but that's your quote right there.
Yeah, bro.
What is it?
Without them, I would be nothing.
Ah, okay, I like that.
Yeah, bro. That's serious, man.
Yeah. Dom's referring to for like posts that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody gets a quote.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah.
I like that.
We kind of pick it out from what somebody says. That's Rob's quote.
I like that. I like that.
Why is it my quote?
Because you said
I
it.
coughed?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I like that.
But all right. Last two sections. This one is MDetroit. I don't know if it's a favorite. People haven't said
staple.
anything, but this is a staple.
Okay.
This is Hip the Listener. This is where we have you, the guest, hip the listeners to anything, whether it be art, movies, events, concepts, anything you want to hip the listeners to. Hip the listener.
I want to hip the listener to. I'm trying to think, man. Let me see.
Oh man, John's going on his phone right now.
Yeah, I like.
He's about to hip us.
Maybe. I mean, it might be stuff people already listen to, man. But,
Well, pretty much everyone knows something.
I mean, there's this new album that I've been checking out by Sean Martin. It's called 3-0. And it's Sean Martin, Matt Ramsey, and Mike Mitchell. And they just do they do some, I don't know if some of these are originals, but they just do standards. Like they do Naima, Afro Blue. And then a lot of it is just like stuff that everybody checks out, like Thundercat, Kira Sheard, Braxton Cook, Derek Haj. I don't really think it's not anything for me to hip. Like I don't really watch a lot of movies. As like
It could be, like a street sign you saw, or some.
I don't really.
But that was pretty hip though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. The thing, I don't like watch a lot of TV shows or movies. Like if I cut on the TV, it's because I'm like watching the NBA or like NFL.
What's a sport hip the listener thing?
What?
What do people need to be hip to in sports? Like, is there a player?
I mean,
team?
I'm
Like whoever got signed, you like what?
I'm a LeBron fan, so
Okay.
anywhere the GOAT goes, man, I go. So I mean, everybody knows he's the GOAT. So
He is. He.
Do you have like a guilty pleasure that you're like, okay, more people need to do this?
it was sports
Anything.
with anything.
It could be like, I really like this candy, and more people need to eat this candy. I don't have that. I'm just saying, like, it could be that.
I do. You need to eat Haribo gummy bears.
Haribo?
I love
Yes.
them. Those are great.
nice.
Best in the business.
But if you don't, it's fine.
Nah. If you don't,
I'm trying to think of something.
We're like forcing this on John.
No, I just know like once this is over, like something will come in my mind.
true.
You guys suggested candy. You suggested street signs. It's like,
Right. A favorite
this is
stick.
not helping. What's your favorite?
You can take as much time as you want because this is actually one
Yeah,
of the
we can go back to this
first
if you want.
podcast.
Yeah, we'll come back to this because I want to. I
Alright,
don't think of
alright.
that. I'm trying to think.
So our last section is the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
They don't need to be rapid fire answers.
Okay.
But like
They just need to
they're
be
just
stupid
quick questions. Quick questions. So what's, like you mentioned, what is in your current music rotation besides the Sean Martin thing?
My boy Dre hit me to this guy that a lot of people probably already know, but his name is V Keys, and he dropped this record in 2016, and every song on this record is like just a bop, and like none of it is on like Spotify or anything. I like burned my boy CD.
Oh, is
But-
it on like YouTube or anything?
I don't think it's on YouTube.
Oh, then I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of
we
hard.
can't find it.
Yeah, but there is this record that you got like.
What's it called though?
It's called Clarity 2016.
V Keys,
Yeah.
Clarity. Okay.
But there is this album for all the cats out there. There's a record called Monk's Modern Music. I don't know if you've heard it before.
I think so.
It's with Rick Rowe, Rodney Whitaker, and Greg Hutchison, and they just play straight Monk tunes. David Alvarez actually showed me this album. We were playing at Baker's like 2 years ago, and he's like, "Yo, man, like I want to show you this album. Every single song on the album swings so hard. Like even the ballads are just like ridiculous. Like Rick Rowe, like he's just ridiculous.
So who is it on?
Rick Rowe on piano,
Yep.
and Rodney Whitaker on bass, and Greg Hutchison. They're I think that you can like buy it off of like Amazon or something like that. I'm not sure. But I burned that album off of all of it.
Man, you haven't heard people say burning stuff in a minute.
I know. When I asked Dre to burn it yesterday, and I was like hoping he would understand what I meant by that. But yeah, I think that's not, a lot of people aren't gonna be able. But one thing I will say, okay, I have one that is on Spotify. There's this guy named Cartoons who I follow on Instagram, and he has this album called Saturday Morning. And every song on there, it's on Spotify. I'm pretty sure it's on Apple Music, but I use Spotify. Every song on there is a vibe.
See, I typed in Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah,
and it pulled up the Wikipedia article for Saturday morning cartoon, which is like for like the TV cartoons.
You know they're bringing those back.
They should, man.
How do you spell cartoons?
C. Okay.
Is it like the regular spelling for cartoons?
No, CA 2 R's.
Ah,
And then TOONS.
Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
dope.
Yep, this already looks dope because the album cover is memeful.
And then there's another dude who one other album that actually this was on repeat all summer is this guy named Chris Anderson. He plays drums with Mac Ayres.
Mm-hmm.
And his album is called Smile When You Can. It's on Spotify. Every song there's a bop. Like there's a song specifically called One Day and I've Been Thinking About You, and those two songs are like two of my favorite on there. But the whole album is ridiculous. Like would suggest you listening to.
How do you spell Chris? Is it like KRIS?
KRIS. Chris Anderson.
And then Anderson is just like Anderson.
Yeah. And it's really cool.
Okay. Trying to find it.
Super groovy.
Okay. I think I found two country artists. Maybe is that who you're referring to? Or
No,
it's
I'll show you a picture of it.
I just want to find it for like the listeners. Oh, it's CHRIS.
What did I say?
You said KRIS.
Oh, bro, my bad.
You're good.
Okay, see, my bad.
Smile When You Can.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those albums that you can really listen from.
This is cool. He's got DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
cool.
Yeah. This is something you can literally listen to this album from first song to ending and not cut it off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very few albums that you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one of those albums is Kanye West, My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
You have to be a Kanye fan for that.
Yeah, I'm not a Kanye fan.
Oh,
man.
damn. All right.
Not even old Kanye.
Damn.
I never really got
That's
into
interesting.
him. Yeah, I never really got into Kanye like that, for real.
It's all cool. Next one. Top 3 electric bass players.
Right now, Joe Cleveland, he's ridiculous. Derek Hodge and Thaddeus Johnson out of Chicago.
Nice. If you had a billboard in Midtown Detroit, what would it say?
Ooh, that's a good one. Are we talking like old billboard or like those billboards that change?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, maybe let's just say like a permanent one.
Permanent one. Ooh, I feel like I would showcase myself, but I would also showcase a lot of like underground musicians that are really dope in the city.
What would it say?
I would just like, cause social media is so big, I would just kind of like post like, well, no, you can't do that on a billboard, but never mind. Like I have like my dream billboard is like a billboard that will play music. So you can like you're driving past it and the billboard will play music while you're reading. So like you could play like something that you like you could just play like if you want to hear, if the billboard's like a jazz billboard, you would hear jazz on the billboard. So like if I had a billboard like that, I would just play like like Ian Finkelstein's like original music on the Billboard and just have like his social media, because like Ian Finkelstein's like really dope to me, or like Brandon Rose music on a Billboard, or my own music. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Dope.
Dude,
It's a good answer.
that's like,
Because bro, like regardless of what people think, like people do pay attention. Like people pay attention to billboards.
Yeah.
Like people do pay attention.
Especially in like downtown areas.
Yes, people really pay
What
attention
else
to
are you
those.
gonna look at when you're driving?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta-
Your phone, other than your phone.
don't text and drive.
Yeah.
All right,
Don't text and drive.
Acoustic or electric?
Both.
Nah, man. You gotta pick. You
Nah,
gotta
I
pick.
can't. So okay, here's the thing. Okay, honestly, I say both, but if I had to pick, I would choose acoustic bass, because, like, this is just my opinion, and I hope people don't get upset at me for this, but in my opinion, there's more things you can do. There's more sounds you can get out of upright bass. Like, so it's just my opinion. Like with upright bass, you can get like that warm tone. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can also get an aggressive tone, and then you can use like pedals, like.
Yeah, but you don't have any knobs on it, man. You can't adjust like the tone knob or the vol. I'm just messing with you.
I don't know. Like, so there's this cat who plays with Kamasi Washington named Miles Mosley.
Bro, oh my lord.
So like, bro, I mean, you can't play electric with the bow. So like, you can get like, we're not even going to talk about like bowing right now, but you can literally get like 6 to 7 different sounds alone just by playing pits. And then like, if you want to have a pedal, like right now I'm using a whammy pedal, and you can get like so many different sounds, octave sounds.
Can we pause just for 1 second? Sorry.
What happened?
No, so I was about 2 days ago. I was opening a drawer and there was foil in it.
You slice your hand open?
Yeah, I sliced my finger. Oh, like I just sliced it trying to get the drawer open, and I just got pissed. So like, yeah, there's a slice in my little finger.
I know those are the worst, especially when water hits that joint.
Right, and then it will hit it, but like now it's healing. Like now it's like concealed, but it stings.
Yeah. Like,
But
I've
yeah,
had
I
a
was
lot of
shedding, and I was just like, God, bro, this hurts. Because it's annoying.
as a bass player, that index finger is.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the cat running around, playing with the little toy.
I've had a lot of those, especially with bass. Like you just can't put anything on it.
Do you get like blisters anywhere?
Not anymore. I used to.
Just have a fat callus there now.
Yeah, I have like a lot of calluses. Like when I get out of the shower and my hands are exposed. You can see.
Do you use your second or first or second
I
finger?
use both.
Damn.
Okay.
So like, I use them both for.
This
upright and
doesn't make
electric
any
bass.
fucking. Ooh. Oh God, bro, this is stinging.
Yeah, I told you, that boy's gonna sting, man.
It's like a nice.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah, it's gonna sting though. Did you put alcohol on it?
Yeah, this has alcohol in it.
No. I'm talking about that.
Oh nah, bro.
Yeah. We'd have to cut your microphone off for that one.
Right, bro, because that.
I brought it just in case, but
Wait,
Nah, bro.
you want your shit to heal, man.
Because
On the cut, bro.
you
why
gotta
didn't you put alcohol in the cut?
Because I've cleaned it too many times, bro.
you gotta clean it out, bro.
You want the shit to heal quick.
It's not. Come on, man.
You got another
Just do it,
Band-Aid?
man. Everybody else is doing
That's
it.
good.
Do you think this is good?
No, yeah. What I use that for is like once it's like at the end of being healed, then you put that shit on and it just like seals it up.
Mm-hmm.
What my mom used to do, she'll put the alcohol during the day, and then when you go to sleep is when you put the ointment on. Because when you sleep, your body repairs itself.
Well, shit. What should I do now?
I mean, you already put the ointment
It's
on.
fine.
Well, right.
It's fine.
You
I
wrapped
just
it
brought
up.
it just in case.
Ooh, that's the peroxide. That's whoo.
That kills everything, man.
Well,
Sorry, you were talking about. I don't even know what we were talking about. You were talking about like I asked you about like first or second finger.
Oh yeah. And then I just remember I was telling you about like upright or acoustic.
yeah.
I remember that.
So
And then you said acoustic because you can make more.
Oh yeah. Like okay, like let alone with just playing pits, you can get like 6 to 7 different sounds, and then like add pedals and stuff like that. You can get more sounds, and then like you can get you can get multiple sounds, but you can really get like 3 different sounds with both. You can get really loud, medium, really loud, close to the bridge, or quiet, medium, and loud, close to the bridge.
And you get all those classical techniques.
And you can get like all the harmonics, like on the bass, which you can get pitching, but it's not gonna be the same like bow. It's gonna be a sustained sound. And then you can get other harmonics, like if you play below the bridge, there's more harmonics.
Yep.
And then if you use a pedal with a bow, it sounds ridiculous, which Miles Mosley does. So I think I prefer like upright because like I can do more, and right now I can do more things. So me personally,
for your signal chain, when you're doing the pedal thing, are you just going bass with like a pickup on the instrument and then?
No, I just do like I just run a chord out of my amp and then the pedal.
And then you have like a pickup on the bass. And, And then
yeah. So, but I really obviously you can do a lot with electric, but in my opinion, you can do more with
what whammy pedal are you using?
Just the regular the red one. Is there?
Oh, the Digitech whammy.
Yeah.
Okay. Is
there multiple? Is there?
So I'm thinking of like whammy bar on like a guitar. But then there's also like the wah wah.
Yeah, I have the wah wah one.
Okay.
That one's really cool. I got it in like July, and it's January, and I'm honestly now like just figuring out how to like really maneuver, because it's like a lot. Like there's so many options that I just like didn't really understand how to use. And like to get it to like to whammy, you have to do it so fast. So like at first I didn't really understand like how fast I had to do it.
Man,
like,
I feel like that's hard to do, especially like with bass.
Bro, it's super hard because like Mono Neon does it.
Oh, okay.
And he like,
but he plays electric.
Yeah, but with electric I tried it too, and he gets like all these crazy sounds, but to get it like, because it'd be like you have to like do your foot really fast on top of playing like what you're playing. So I'm finally like figuring out how to like really use it to like get effects and stuff. Because like if you're playing like grooves and stuff, you can like make some funky noises, which is really cool, which I like. So yeah,
funk or swing,
man. Both.
Nah, man, you gotta pick.
I mean, I don't know, man.
We can come back to it.
Yeah.
I would say the reason why I'm gonna say both is because like my mom. So like when I was younger, the first thing I had was like a first generation iPod Nano, which I still use. And like my mom gave it to me with like 300 songs, and it was like Music Soul Child on it, Jill Scott, like Parliament Funkadelic, and then like Charles Mingus, like so what, like so it was like a diverse listening palette. So
yeah,
I say both. But I love the swing, but I like grooving too. So I'd say both. I like both.
Okay. Best score in 2K, 21 or 20?
LeBron.
Okay.
Nah, I won't even play. The way Kassan plays, man, Devin Booker and James Harden, bro. This dude, he played me in 2K and he dropped like 115 points with James Harden.
Damn.
And like, but we play it on pro, so it's difficult, but it's not difficult. But like literally, like he'll come with James Harden, and like if it's like any space, he'll shoot it 3 points.
I can never, bro. I get busted by my little cousins every time.
Kassan beats me. I don't like, before moving to East Lansing, I didn't really like, I had a PS2, but I didn't play video games like that. So like this is the most video games I've played in a long time, because our other friend Sam Corey, he has a PlayStation, so we'd be over there playing. So it's like, but we play 2K21. I play with Team LeBron, the All-Star team. So I just score.
That's what I do.
Yeah, bro. I just score with LeBron. But now, since I have the All-Star team, it's balanced. Like I might score like 20 with LeBron. I'll get like 10 with KD, 5 with Dame Lillard, like 12 with Klay Thompson, off threes. You know.
I was gonna say, the team that I pick most is the Chicago Bulls All-Star team.
Yeah, bro. Because they have some. I mean, they have Jordan.
Yeah.
So yeah, those I try. See, I'm not good with those all-time teams. I'm not good because
I just scroll through and be like, okay, 97. Okay, these are all 90.
I tried to play with the all-time Miami Heat because they have Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh.
Oh yeah.
Who else they have? Those are like the main dudes that I know. But it didn't work. I lost. So yeah.
All right.
I don't know anything about this game.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's more. I mean, to me, it's more fun playing with like other people.
Yeah.
Because like I talk a lot of trash. So like I'll still be losing and I'll still be talking trash about like something that happened. Like if I won a week ago, I'm gonna talk trash for that. Like it could be 2 weeks and I'll still tell you about when I beat you a week, like 2 weeks ago. No matter if I'm down. So.
Man, you got a sore loser here.
No, yeah. I'm talking. Because with basketball, like I was really good at basketball and I would talk a lot. So it just translated. Like we went to the gym the other day and we won, but I was just talking trash the whole time. So that's just how I am.
Yeah, you suck.
Nah, yeah. It was this dude. I didn't get a chance to warm up. And he was like, I'm going to let you shoot. And I was like, all right, let me shoot. So I made the first one. I was like, can I get one more? Made it again. He's like, all right, you get one more. Made it again. And then we just started talking the whole time. So I like talking, man. It gets me going. That's what I mean. So, yeah.
Favorite transcription?
Ooh. Favorite transcription. Right now or all time?
Whichever.
There's a recording of Ray Brown playing Lady Be Good. It's Gene Harris, Ray Brown, and Jeff Hamilton. And I used to listen to it like every single day.
Isn't that Ray Brown trio record?
Yeah.
Like the blue one?
Mm-hmm. He's wearing like this blue suit. Have you seen the video?
No, I feel it's not a live one, is it?
It's live. It's like
okay.
He has like this weird blue suit on, and I transcribed that in high school, and it's like something that I've always like revisit to this day. So yeah.
Okay. Favorite song to play with Sabbatical Bob?
Ooh, probably Game to Fight or Game to Fight. That's my favorite song.
Okay.
That's my favorite one. Like that band's really cool because like when I first joined the group, like the way that like we write tunes is cool because a lot of it is just like someone like would play an idea and then like you would just like respond. So like when we wrote Game to Fight, I literally just like heard the changes and stuff like that and just like created like a James Brown vibe bass line and it just like locked in. So that's really cool because like it's structure to it, but it's not a lot of structure. So it's like it gives everybody like the freedom to like artistically express themselves and make it sound as one. So
dope.
Yeah.
Paul Chambers or Ron Carter?
Ooh, that's a trouble question right there. I like them both, but I will say, okay, when I was younger, I was more of a Paul Chambers fan. But now that I'm mature, like Ron Carter's sense of harmony in his walking lines is like untouchable. So, but both, man, they're both super killer. They're both legends. Yeah, I love them both.
Gotcha. And then, hit the list.
Oh yeah, we got to get back to the hip to listener.
We gotta get hip.
Did you think of anything?
Hip.
To someone that, I feel like it's something that I'm gonna think of it when I leave. There's this. Oh yeah, okay. I will say this. So there's this album that this guy named Daniel Crawford is on. He's in Chris Dave and the Drumheads, and it's called. I'm about to see what it's called real quick. It's been on repeat all day or for the past like 3 months, bro. It's called Cuffing Season. Chris Dave and Chris Dave and Daniel Crawford, and it's super killing. Like so many cats on it. A song called No Worries. Amber Narvan is on it. That's the woman from Soul Child, I think it is. Moonchild, sure. And it's like beautiful. So that whole record is like really cool. So y'all should check that
Eric Willinger?
No, here it is. I'll show you. Oh,
Yeah, I found out it's on Bandcamp.
it might be on Bandcamp.
Oh, yeah, I just
Let me
found
see
it.
the cover. What does it look like? Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it was on. I'm happy it's on Bandcamp. I did not know that. But yeah, that album is ridiculous. Lewis actually showed it to me. We were just chilling at his girl's crib, and he played it. I was like, "What is this?" But it's every song on there is like a vibe. Every single song on there.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. All right, let's pause for a minute so you can cut it in. All
What
right.
just
I don't know. But is there anything else that you would like to leave with the audience?
Nah, if you listened all the way to the end, thank you for listening. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
No problem.
Where can people find you?
Social media, like my Instagram is just my Jonathon Jonat _M_C. Same with Twitter, and like my website. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this out, but I think my website is my first and last name.com. Is it?
Yeah, it's jsmuir-cotton.com.
Okay. Yeah. So my website, which is my first and middle initial and last name.com. So yeah.
We'll have it all on the
I should probably
the portraits.
I should probably know my website. That's kind of embarrassing, but yeah. So those are the two places that I or multiple places. Yeah, and once COVID, or I mean even now, like I still have some quite a few gigs, but in normal times, like my schedule and stuff is on my website, same as like all my ways that you can reach me and stuff like that. But obviously, because of the current times, there's not too much going on. But
Sweet.
yeah,
Well, thank you for being on the MDetroit podcast. And
thank you.
We'll catch you in the next one.
Yes.
WAWADY.
Wow, that was a magnificent conversation.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe on all our social media, and we hope to see you soon.